There may be a recession coming. They may have raised the terror threat to probable. But there is a gold rush coming, and there's plenty of danger to waking up to gold when the Foxes are in the river for Australia. And this time, it's Noemie Fox. She beat the Germans, she beat the French, she beat the Poms, and she stands alone on top of the podium with gold around her neck and does that familiar Fox jump on top of the dais. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times in the air, waving her hands like one of those inflatable things outside a second-hand car dealership. And let me tell you, we can get you a deal on a Holden. We can get you a deal on a Toyota. We can get you a deal on a 1993 Subaru WRX. And we can definitely get you a deal on Olympic gold. 3 for the price of 2. Noemie Fox gets gold in the drink. Jess Trump's in the drink. Her mum's in the drink. Can we get Richard in the drink? Gold for Australia. Gold for Noemie Fox. 3 golds for the Fox family. 13 golds for Australia. Good morning, Australia. Have you ever woken up with more tears in your eyes? We put the question out to one local man and we asked him this: how do the Fox family approach these Olympic Games? Here's what he said.
They came bounding over.
Pezza, they're hungry. They were hungry for gold. And it's gold for the Fox family, gold for Australia, gold for you and me. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Australia. Good afternoon, Australia, depending on where you are. Most of us, that is. Yeah, as you said, a lot of people around the world will wake up to news reports of the biggest stock market drop in the US in 2 years. Japan's worse since 87. The Nikkei's down 12%. Across Australia, gold under the pillow. Noemie Fox and its sibling gold and its younger sibling gold. And I think that'll be reflected in the messages from the audience that came in overnight. A couple of concerns around the grounds in the Olympics, your rapid charges semi-finals. But how about we hear what the audience has to say before ripping into the meaning behind Noemie Fox's, who is not who we're speaking about. In fact, it's Noemie Fox's gold.
Blue canoe, is it me and you? Is it standing up for your mate when she's in a fight? Blue canoe.
Boys, you wanted Visceral. You're getting fucking Visceral. Noemie Fox just wanted gold. I'm tearing up. I got a snot. I got everything going on because, she just has earned that, and that's what happens. That's what makes us champions, and no one is ever gonna pronounce her name wrong again. And yes, I'm looking at you, peasant. He goes, anyway. What a fucking legend.
Yeah. Emotional.
Boys, don't know if you can hear where I am at the moment, but I'm just floating down the Tarago River. Noemie Fox gold. Jess Fox gets in the drink. Miriam Fox gets in the drink. Couldn't help himself but get up the river this morning and get in the drink.
Take a piss?
Dad, can I go to the Olympics?
Yes, Jess, but you've got to take your little sister with you.
But Dad!
And you better make sure she wins some gold.
Dad!
Sean Connery's daughter.
Hey, fellas. I woke up with this fucking song stuck in my head.
What does a fox say? Go, 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 gold! Go, 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 gold, gold! Go, 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 gold, gold! What does a fox say? Aussie, Aussie, oi, oi, oi! Aussie, Aussie,
People have lost it. Day 10.
Aussie, Aussie, oi, oi, oi!
Delirium set in.
What does a fox say?
We're back.
Boysies. How good is Noemie Fox? Just imagine, though, how good it would be to have your dad come and watch you play sport.
Emotional.
More tears.
Yeah.
Are there any Fox brothers?
Oh, boys. The second week is like the final days of Sovereign Hill. The mines are dry. Gina's moved on. And we are left tinkering with lesser metals and metals. What's replicharge?
Hey lads, was just watching the hockey. That's one of the biggest robberies I've ever seen. Who the fuck is the third umpire?
Yeah. Yep.
That was it.
We think it amazing.
Me think it amazing.
And we did pretty average things. PB in a semi.
Get knocked out of the quarters after topping the group. What's repercharge?
I'm tired of you guys suppressing my visceral minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Chalmers spat on my shoes, and the world needs to know. Thank you.
So, our speak pods have been absolutely hammered by this guy who claims that Kyle Chalmers mistreated him in high school.
Okay.
There's a number of allegations that it's unrepeatable, but I thought I'd give him his due just to...
Yeah, but the thing is with Kyle Chalmers that his first name starts with a K, and that means you can call him King. King Kyle.
And
so
it's interesting times ahead.
That's tough to trump. So this show is brought to you by Smith Optics, smithopticsaustralia.com. Use the code FAST for 25% off your order at that website and let magic happen for you. Pezza, Noemie Fox starting there. It's a win that she's really, really deserved. And we know that because we've been in training with her. We've followed the story basically since birth. And we know how much this will mean to her.
Yeah, like obviously the truth is none of us have any idea whether she deserves it or not.
No,
we have
no.
In fact, Adam Clements wrote in, said, boys, he's actually just touching on the entire sibling rivalry between Noemie and her older, less talented and less famous sister Jess, and my own experiences, not as an elite canoeist, but as an amateur country rugby player. The answer is no. No, I wasn't upset that I did extras after training 3 days a week, 5 days a week of weight training, 2 days of conditioning every weekend before finally cracking first grade. And no, I wasn't upset when next season my brother turned 18 and being the perfect specimen he was, despite spending every Friday night on the piss, racking up 800 hours of game time on Call of Duty in less than a month. Is that possible? And going to training once a month, was picked in first grade at my expense because, quote, he's got something about him, this fella. No, I wasn't upset at all, and I'm not bitter about it either, considering this was 15 years ago. Thanks for asking. We have no idea of the dynamic about this. We know that the narrative is being created, and there's a lot of... I mean, maybe we should go through the race first, you know what I mean? Like when they just drop him in the drink.
Yeah, drop him in the drink.
A couple of her rivals struggle around a couple of those gates, and, Richard knew when it was on. He just went, yes! It was guttural.
So it seems like Kim, who's from Team GB, they must be friends.
Mates, yeah.
So she gives her the critical bump at the end. The critical bump, what I wouldn't give.
That's what we're all after when it comes to the denouement of any event.
There's something in the bathroom there for you, a critical bump.
Critical bump.
So heading to the final upstream.
You gave me that critical bump.
I was up for 3 days. The final upstream, the final red gate.
Yeah.
She goes. Noemie gets there first, and then Kim, who's at that point second, follows her into the same gate. So there's two red gates, both upstreams. She chooses the same one. Noemie gets there, and then Kim comes in and bumps her, pushing her forward, propelling her to gold.
Oh, it can happen.
And then Kim from Team GB crosses the line fourth, ends up getting bronze through a not a disqualification, but a penalty for the German, I think it was. Straight over to Noemie and gives her a big old hug there before everyone jumps in the drink. And nice moment.
It's an enduring Olympic story. Wonderful. Rivals in the whitewater, or rivals on the court, or in, as we saw last night with Ollie Slagers and Mahuchik. Rivals at the bar.
Yeah.
But wonderful friends and a lot of respect away from competition. And I think that is the Olympic story. And it was wonderful to see that overnight with Noemie, a narrative-rich gold, sibling gold, shadow gold, rival/respect gold, family gold, in the drink gold. It is fucking hitting a lot of buttons for a lot of people.
I can scarcely believe how much this win meant to me.
Yes.
Because I didn't know Jess Fox had a sister until 4.5 days ago.
Yeah. And you're a younger sibling too.
I am. And then when she crossed the line, and then I'm not sure who the lead commentator is for the canoe, the slalom, the kayak cross. I'm not sure who it is, but obviously Richard's doing expert comms.
Yeah.
He was like the tremor in his voice. He was emotional. Obviously Richard would have been as well, but he's
the only one in the family without a medal now.
He was upset.
Yeah.
He was upset. He's been cucked. For gold.
The girls have put him in the cuck chair once again. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. I withdraw that.
Disrespectful to the Fox family.
Yeah.
But I said it, so you know. But like, fucking hell, the Olympics can just hit you. Like, I didn't know this sport existed. I didn't know this person existed. She crosses the line, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this might be one of the greatest Olympic moments of all time. They're ipso facto, one of the greatest moments of my life.
Yeah. And how long do you think it will be before both of us, as a reflection on the paucity of our memory, has to rack our brain for what her name was again?
Yeah, it's a trivia question. when I'm in 6 years' time, when I'm having a $72 schnitzel.
6 years? 6? It's like 6 months.
Jess and
you know, because of the kind of like almost like Oedipal family narrative to this, that the youngest and the eldest sibling, etc. Like, where does this gold rank on the podium of tear-inducing gold for Australians? And I'm just going to say at this Olympics, because it's a crowded field.
Yeah.
If you start opening it up. Because you had Saya Sakakibara.
That's number one.
Yeah,
I think that wins.
With her sibling story.
Yes.
I don't think this defeats that sibling story.
Here's what I think. I would say of the 3 golds that we've won in the drink, in the river drink.
Yeah, the rapid.
Yeah.
White water drink.
Jess's golds are picking up silver and bronze. This one was better, I reckon.
And
in terms of
can you
tear-inducing.
elaborate? Yeah.
In terms of emotion.
But also buttressed by the previous golds won by the elder sister.
Yeah, it's like
if those golds aren't won.
Yeah. If you watch Godfather 3 first, you'd be like, you need to watch 1 and 2 first.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as that.
It is a victory for Noemie's everywhere around the world as well. You know what I mean? Because for so long, their name has sat in the shadow of the more common Naomi. Now Naomi's around the world are cowering in corners going, fuck me, people are going to fuck this up. Now they know. Now Naomi's know how Noemie's feel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's a big win for anyone else called Noemie.
Noemie Campbell, Noemie Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm struggling.
My cousin, Noemie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The big 3.
Yeah, the Mount Rushmore. It's also a victory, and I think Karl Stefanovic kind of embodied this.
Yeah, well, he often does.
Well, he probably did it on both counts, by the way, but it's also a victory for the prefix as a father. There's a lot of people providing punditry on this win overnight, prefixing with as a father.
As a father, yeah.
You know, and because, you know, as a father of 2 children, I understand what it's like when the elder sibling gets everything.
Got it.
And the younger has to sit in their shadow, forever in their shadow, forever getting hand-me-downs. Now, Jess Fox wasn't able to hand down gold. It's hers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe she could show that to Noemie at home, and Noemie could have a play until Jess wants it back and rips it off her neck
that's enough.
and almost strangles her.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that fathers at home, and I say fathers because fathers only seem to be the only ones on the microphone. But today, Noemie gets her own present. She gets her own item of clothing. It's hers. Jess can't have it. Jess already got a couple.
Yeah.
To be fair, so she's just like, oh, great.
Yeah. I think like the surprise element of this, even though she was seeded 1 in the final in terms of she'd won her semi-final, her heats and whatever, but she's ranked 11 in the world. So like there's a little bit of surprise element to it. I think even Jess said afterwards that she was just like cheering on, hoping like she'd get a medal. So there's obviously 4 in the race and 3 of them get a medal, so good chance. So, you know, she's Noemie's absolutely trumped her there. Just like get a medal. Oh, how about I win by the length of the straight?
I think that's why a lot of I cried, right? Other issues, but like I think that a lot of parents feel anxiety over sibling rivalry. I think there's a lot of tears around the nation that the younger sibling also did well. Like, I genuinely, I think it strikes people at a personal level when you have multiple children, just to go like, we don't have to live the rest of our lives with one of them having achieved something and the other that the other one didn't.
Because Jess is like the greatest of all time in the canoe and the kayak. Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
So it's a wild event, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're totally right when you say that Noemie's gold takes on extra significance following Jess's golds. If Jess sort of I was going to say fails at the Olympics, and that is doesn't bring home double gold and as flag bearer.
Yeah, and sort of lets us down.
So if she doesn't get the flag and only sort of brings home 1 gold, for example, if she lets the nation down, I don't know if Noemie's gold has the same significance. That you could create the story, but the fact that Jess has basically been 10 out of 10, the only blip she's had is when her sister knocked her out, and then went on to win the gold. I just think it makes it a perfect story.
Completely agree. Also, lovely shots of Panthers. There's in the Leagues Club.
Yeah.
The Leagues Club in Penrith.
Didn't know how much I needed that. But I did.
Another Panthers having a good run the last few years.
You can see some of the neon bar lights behind, that have seen some darker times than a Fox family goal.
And there was quite a few blokes figuring out what the fuck's going on. I'm just here for me Tuesday morning, just having a schooner.
Hell of a complex.
Just having a schooner and a cornflakes. Who's this Noemie?
Good on the Penrith community. So yeah, it's gold under the pillow for the nation as well.
Oh yeah,
and long may it continue for the next 5 days, please.
I feel like
please give me gold every day.
The Olympics is essentially like us pulling teeth and putting it underneath a pillow at night, waking up gold in the morning.
Oh, that's right.
Instead of $1.
Mate, exactly right. Wake up, where's me coin, mum? And kids today are getting like notes. It's a joke with inflation and CPI.
We're waking up and getting Olympic gold medals.
Yeah,
it's worth a lot more. Emotionally.
Well, these days, if you're going to give a kid a gold coin for losing a tooth, you have to give it some bells and whistles too. You have to get a note. You have to tell them where it's gone. Give them some flowers and stuff as well, because other kids rock into school and they're like, man, I picked up a lobster for that.
I got shares in Apple.
My boy walked in with a $2 coin. He's like, what, 2 sheets? His mates.
Talking out the side of his mouth.
Yeah, kids going, mate, my dad started a trust fund for me. It's the back of that. So it's nice to get gold. Anyway, a bit of kid stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was nice anyway.
Yeah, it was really nice. So that was the only goal.
Is that the last high point? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what's coming up, and nor does anyone else know. And it's not our responsibility to tell people what's coming up.
There's plenty more gold.
But I just wonder, at the moment, it just feels like we're just having night after night of these amazing successes. Like this is one of our great Olympic games, I would have thought. Yeah. And I just wonder when the good times are going to end, because when the swimming finished, we're like, oh, okay, well let's just enjoy some PBs.
Yeah, we're in sort of Shires level drink.
Yeah, and then we might have had the high point of the Olympics last night. Saya Sakabara's, that's going to be tough to beat. But
let's roll with it, because I think there's some shock gold, some unexpected gold to come. We're in plenty of events.
Okay, what about this? If the Boomers win gold or the Opals, beating the US team in the basketball, is that the pinnacle? Maybe we should get
the pinnacle would be if they entered Aussie rules into the Olympics.
And Essendon did one.
That's right, and Waitley's calling, and and then he comes together with Eddie Maguire cross broadcast, and they do it like an AFL 360 kind of what's that footy show they have as well? Yeah, and Sam McClure jumps on.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be when the nation unites. So yeah, look, Aussies around the traps. He goes. And the track, I want to go. Let's go track and field, because it's the aesthetic now. Discus, Matt Denny through to the discus men's discus final. Matt Denny, the subject of one of the more emotive ads knocking around. We have the song "Made It" in your head.
Yep.
With Dorito crumbs on your chest, but he's made couple of throws, got the distance he needed to, put the tracksuit on, straight back to the hotel, have a feed, get the Zeds going.
Now, if there's a man that smashed a feed after qualifying for the Olympic finals, then I think he's good to go.
He's beautiful to watch, Matt Denny, because obviously he's built like a brick shithouse, and but his release is like quite balletic. He looks like, you could say he's got a good touch for a big man. Just the way that he lets go of the disc himself. And I have seen quite a few disc releases. Not to be confused with my L5S1, which is a slip disc I had a few years ago.
Can I read you some quotes?
Yeah,
from Matthew Denny?
About anything? Or?
Yeah. Actually, this one's from Banjo Patterson.
Yeah. There was movement at the station.
The man from Snowy River. He came bounding down. Oh, no, that was something else. Matthew Denny said, it was good to get it done and do it quickly and quite easily.
Oh.
Yeah, it gets better.
That's what you want to hear.
Part of our process is that the best version of me is enjoying my space, playing discus.
Oh, playing discus.
Playing discus, yeah.
I like it.
And he said, we say, be a bit country about it.
Oh.
Just have fun. Enjoy what it is and show off your style.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
dog.
if I can get behind an athlete, it's because he's got a bit of country about him and the way he goes about it is country.
Yeah.
You know? Because we've said this
we used
before.
to shorten that in Australian cricket term. There was no RY at the end of that. I'm glad he finished that off. Channel 9, glad that suffix came in at the end.
Be a bit country about it.
That's right.
But, you know, we live vicariously through these athletes, you know, and I'm getting great shots this morning of Panthers Leagues Club, kids in Panthers Leagues, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually did happen a lot when I was playing out at Howell Oval, but to be fair, only having Diet Cokes. But, you know, like someone from the country, you know, living off the land, throwing discs for the nation, you know, and the way he goes about it is a bit country, not really sure what it means, but I like what it, you know, sort of imbues.
Well, like it's probably tougher for the athletes because they got to try and build their own unique brand, you know, in the 4 seconds that Australians will exhale their nose in front of the TV. So I like what Matt Denny's done there.
Yes.
He's got the Woolworths ad, so not everybody gets that.
Yeah, not
but I
everybody
like
gets
that he's building his own story around that. Just be a bit country, have a bit of fun, show him a style. Good touch for a big man. Gets the job done with the disc this morning. Slips into the old trackies, straight back to smash a feed, get some Zeds into him, and come back to win the gold. So that was Matt Denny. Let's jump over to the pole vault.
Oh, this
Here
is
goes. Nina Kennedy, our world champion.
Yeah.
She'll go for gold later in the week. She didn't miss a height on her way to the final. Bit of controversy.
Well, it didn't look like missing either, Pezza.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I said that as soon as I saw that, mate. Let's put the vault away.
Now, what was the controversy? I didn't see the controversy.
Molly Caudry.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You didn't find it controversial that the British champion said, I'll skip the easy ones. I'll go straight to 455, and then bombed out X3.
I didn't realise she decided to skip. I just saw her miss three times.
She went 440, 444, not for me. Well, let's move on. Let's just get
to
into
455.
Let's get into the serious stuff. Yeah. I don't need throwdowns, so I'll just jump in.
And you would have heard the commentary team saying they don't want to say it, but she's got the yips.
Look, I have to say, as a seasoned observer, pole vault does strike me as a sport where yips are possible.
So I was doing some research on this.
Okay.
And one person dies from pole vaulting every year and has done for the last 2 decades. So it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
And that was...
yips seem plausible.
Plausible, yeah. Now, it's different
Far
to...
be it for me to judge. You just got to chuck it in and jump over.
It's different to when Ian Baker Finch got the yips with his putting.
That's true. Thank you for clarifying.
But in terms of like the poles themselves, so all poles are the same length and weight. They're 4.4 meters and about 2 kilos. But each have a different degree of flex in them, right? So the bendy...
really? Do you select? Like you?
Yes. So you know, like next to the track, they have like all the cues in the rack there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's enormous chopsticks.
So do they sort of buy their own or like custom
I'm not sure
if
it's like a kit bag.
Let us know.
Yeah.
boysactually@gmail.com. But do you bring your own? Is it BYO pole?
Yeah.
BYOP.
So the bendier the pole, the less height you get, but the more margin for error. So the stiffer the pole,
the more height, the bendier surely. But
the bendier the pole, the less height you get,
and more margin for error.
More margin for error.
Why would you want that?
Well,
less height and more margin for error. More margin. So you can fuck up.
You can make more mistakes.
I have poor comprehension skills.
The stiffer the pole, the higher it can shoot the vaulter into the air.
Makes sense.
But you have to work so much harder to get it right.
Yeah,
so it's a fine balance.
Okay,
yeah. So that's what you're
like
looking
taking the long handle cricket. You know what I mean? Less control, more distance.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Sort of thing. Just science.
High wire sort of stuff.
So I guess insiders in the pole vaulting community would be aware the sorts of poles that vaulters like to choose. Do they go for the low margin for error, high flex, higher? Yeah.
Because Nina has like the black stuff on her hand, like it's some sort of like adhesive, and some just have tape.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, because I remember my first pole vaulter that came into my consciousness was Tatiana Grigorieva, of course, as a 14-year-old boy, finding the sport.
Please.
What an athlete. Silver in Sydney.
Yeah.
And she had the black stuff as well. I always wondered what it was. Anyway, they were talking about it last night.
Oh, that's just begging for a boys actually.
Yes.
For some pole vaulting stuff. Pole vaulting correspondents all welcome. GB's Tokyo bronze medalist Holly Bradshaw also missed out. In the men's, Curtis Marshall finished 6th in the men's pole vault final with a clearance of 585. We're going to come to world record holder when we get into the global section of this event, but I want to stick with the Aussies. Here goes.
Great.
Do you have anything else from track and field that you want to touch on in terms of the?
No, I'm a bit all over the place, but no, nothing from the track.
I want to move back to the drink, if that's possible.
Oh, thank God.
Surfing.
Surfing, yeah, okay.
Did you catch any surfing this morning?
Yes, I did.
Oh, it was edge of seat stuff in terms of like, is there any fucking surf here? And poor old Gabriel Medina, who was subject of one of the greatest sports photographs of all time.
Yes.
So he wins social.
Just
couldn't just. I mean, like, you know, in an A, like, look, let's just get the headline right. Jack Robinson, the Vortex Shaman, proceeds through to the
guaranteed medal,
guaranteed gold silver medal, right? So the Aussie comes through against Gabriel Medina. Vortex Shaman holding a candle for drink-based medals and men across the nation, but and a Margaret River boy. But poor old Gabriel Medina, after the Vortex Shaman found the right wave. Owen Wright calling it out, which is great. He just knows how to sniff a wave. This bloke. I don't think that were the exact words, but he's a shaman. He's a shaman of understanding when waves come.
Yeah.
Right? In the drink there. And poor Gabriel Medina is just like, any danger of a wave for me. He needed a wave to eclipse Jack Robinson's, I think it was at 12.33, and just didn't come, didn't even fire a shot, didn't even jump on a little ripple there and just see what he could do, or get his fingers out like with a skateboard, you know, and just sort of nollie his board with his fingers.
He forgot to bring his tech deck.
Yeah, his tech deck.
Now, when you say edge of the seat stuff, if you are a fan of Test cricket, it was two blokes looking at the horizon for a bit, for about 17 minutes.
Who are we to judge? I found it quite peaceful.
Sort of an ASMR, it's quite relaxing. Yeah, beautiful conditions.
It's flat calm out here, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful?
You know, when you watch the surfing and you think like some of the waves these guys get, anything above like 5 feet. And if you're in the water as a normal person, you're like, fuck that. It's scary.
Oh, mate, you saw one coming on one of the angles, the one that Jack surfed. The Vortex Shaman, I should say. Oh, yeah, he comes with a tube, and he actually beat Ethan Ewing from Australia, sadly, a couple of rounds ago. But
my entire knowledge from surfing comes from the movie Blue Crush. With Michelle Rodriguez and, a couple of blondes.
The straight on camera angle is just like, will he be able to do something with this? And then they go to the diagonal one. I'm like, holy fuck, that kill me.
Fuck,
you know what I mean? Mate, it's wild out there, guys. Not today.
But then for the last 17 minutes, when the Brazilians just looking at the horizon, thinking, "Oh God!"
I know.
I was thinking like beautiful conditions.
That's right. I was waiting for the for the swell to come, but just on the reef there.
I saw a family of 5 with a boogie board out there.
Yeah. There was a learn to surf class going on at the same time. Oi,
it's the Olympics.
I'm trying to win the Olympics. Andrew Bracey wrote in, Brace. Actually, boys, while you've been quite rightly basking in the glorious term guaranteed medal during these games, the former world champ himself, Barton Lynch, found a new level this morning on comms while calling the gorgeous tube ride that took Jack Robinson into a gold medal matchup. Here's the quote: "Beautiful chandelier lips hitting him in the face." Is possibly the greatest phrase I've ever heard in sports, suggesting, as it does, the image of the Vortex Shaman barreling his way out of the green room and into surfing's champagne room. I've never been a surfing fan, but this Lynch Robinson moment has left me with strange but unwelcome feelings, but welcome feelings that are going to take some serious unpacking. Anon. Sorry, Andrew. I don't know why I wouldn't be proud of that beautiful piece of prose.
That was nice prose.
Yeah, beautiful chandelier lips hitting him in the face. I remember that. He just hit him in the face and controlled his speed through that tube as well, I understand. Put his hand on the wave and it's like, you look at it and you're like, that looks so, like, just, you know, surfing. Both my boys were transfixed by it. Obviously, at some kind of instinctive level, you understand, especially, you know, in the drink as an Australian, you understand that there's something so pure and soulful and meaningful about being able to, like, you know, ride nature's creation in such a smooth way, and then to just think like actually doing it must be really fucking hard.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know they do like the cutbacks like at the top of the wave.
And that make it look so easy.
That looks so hard.
Yeah, like they're basically facing up like a 6-foot wall, and then they just flip it around 180.
But they sort of do it to, like, to finish off the move.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, just finish off there.
Incredible.
Yeah. So that's the surfing. So Jack Robinson goes through to the final there, and he's going to take on local Tahitian Kali.
Yeah. Vost. V-A-A-S-T.
It actually nearly sent me down a rabbit hole of the Franco-Tahitian War in the 1800s. But
can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
No, because I initially wrote him down as French Tahitian, and there was something, which was just not a habit, like a natural thing that came to me. And then I thought, no, that sounds like that could be on the nose as some kind of description of a local. So, and yeah,
I see.
So was some war stuff.
Okay. Bit of Franco,
which can happen and could happen back then.
Mm-hmm.
Australia's got its own history there. So that's drink. Can I stay with the drink a bit?
Stay with the drink.
Yeah, sailing. Matty Warren. I think Matty Warren.
I'm going to go Wern.
Let's go Wern. Dystopian King is assured of at least a silver medal in the silver dinghy in the men's. Silver medal in the men's dinghy in tonight's medal race. If Wern finishes 7th or better, he'll defend the gold he won in Tokyo.
So he's 14 points ahead of the Pavlos from Cyprus. 24 points from Peru's Stefano Peschiera.
Yep.
So he's too far in front of third to be caught up. So he's either finishing first or second.
Right.
So for the Cypriot Pavlos Contides to prevent Contides. Yeah.
I couldn't even say Matty Wern.
Pavlos. So what he needs to do is so what did you say? If Wern finishes 7th or higher,
he'll defend the gold.
Yeah. Or
how many compete in this?
Contides, if he finishes 4th or worst, regardless of where Matt finishes, Australia
gets gold.
He gets gold, yeah.
So he's favourite, you'd say, from here.
Oh yeah. So Wern is seeking to become the first back-to-back Olympic champion in the event and continue Australia's stretch of gold, following Tom Slingsby, 2012. And couldn't he sail? Slingsby,
please.
And Tom Burton, 2016.
Berto.
And Wern in Tokyo 3 years ago. So the Aussies have won this event since London.
We like the drink and we like sailing.
Yeah.
Right, rising middle class stuff.
And so the event was postponed because there's been light winds in Marseille.
Yeah.
And light winds are forecasted for Marseille on Tuesday. And if conditions don't permit racing, a reserve day is scheduled for Wednesday. So that's the situation with the sailing. So gold, lock it in. Haven't watched a second of it.
Well, let's start to get ourselves around it because
right.
We've set ourselves our own goal of waking up every morning to gold.
Yes.
It's an unprecedented goal.
Yeah.
It's I think this is Australia, and we do have higher ambitions than we used to.
I think they're third in the medal table.
Yeah.
Ahead of France now with 13 golds. France have 12. USA and China are 21 and 20 gold medals, so they've jumped right ahead. But 13 golds feels like a lot already. Does it not?
You think we could take some more leadership positions on other areas of society, but for now we'll stick with sport.
I like it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Mate, I like it too. All right, we'll stick in the drink. Why wouldn't we? But it's not good news for the water polo. Although let's put some caveats around it. The Stingers, the Sharks, go down 14-13 to Japan.
Yeah.
Who the Sharks were favoured to defeat there.
They beat them 12 of the last 13 times. Japan hadn't won a game. Aussies were up 4-0.
And I've got something to read here from Joseph Parnes.
Please.
Here from Boys Actually,
okay.
who's our water polo correspondent. He's not aware of that.
Yeah.
And I have to check that he didn't write himself down as a non. No, he didn't. Okay. Thanks, Joseph. Boys Actually, the thing you have to understand about the Sharks losing against Japan, I have to say before we get into this, he goes the people have been getting around the water polo. We've been sleeping on it for a couple of years.
Yeah, we have done, yeah.
But it's something about the nature of the sport has fired up the nation.
Yeah.
So the thing you have to understand about the Sharks losing against Japan is that this was a carrot conservation-based loss.
Okay.
Okay, so Joseph goes on. Japan play an extremely fast-paced, aggressive and tiring style of water polo. Despite losing every group game prior to playing the Sharks, Japan's opponents have all gone on to lose the next game due carrots being spent against Japan.
That's interesting.
So Japan affects a loss either on themselves or the next game. So
it's quite kamikaze
haven't won until now.
Well, too soon.
Accordingly, the Aussies managed the minutes of key players, knowing they were guaranteed second spot in the group regardless.
Well, that's not true.
Also, the Penguins were no good.
They required a result to go their way, which it did, and so Hungary finished.
Oh, you've boys actually the boy.
Well, Hungary actually finished the same amount of points, but Australia beat Hungary, so stay ahead of them second into the ladder.
I'm not getting in the middle of it. But,
Well, I mean, Joseph seems to know what he's talking about. I'm just telling you the facts of the table.
No, it's all right. Well, this is the Olympics, and this is the kind of conversation.
This is the Olympics.
Yeah, just to be clear, that's my news for today. The Olympics is on.
You guys watching it?
So, sounds like we shouldn't be too perturbed by this result. And given the Sharks have been going fairly well anyway, knocking over God knows who, top of the table, perhaps it's a loss they have to have as well, if it's possible.
Yeah, I was thinking that. So Australia played 5 games and they lost 2 of them. They lost to Spain and Japan. Spain atop, and who finished perfect with a goal difference of 28.
Right.
So they conceded 39 and scored 67.
Okay, so Spain pretty good.
So Spain are the best team, I think, because in the other
my
group,
understanding was Australia's the best team.
well, Australia had beaten the best teams. They'd beaten Serbia and Hungary.
Right.
So those are the 2 ones that they've won it every year forever, and Hungary are good as well, whatever. France host nation, so no easy beats. But it turns out they were actually easily beaten because they only won 1 game. Japan conceded 83 goals and had a negative goal difference of 23, which feels like a lot in water polo for 5 games. But I agree with you, maybe lost yet to have. And in the other group, in Group A, all those teams are much closer together, whereas clearly in this one, Spain, 5 from 5, are very, very good.
I just always find myself a little upset and frustrated and borderline physically disoriented when I learn that my team, who's done fairly well in the pool stage, actually will be coming up against other teams who've been quite good themselves. That's all I'm saying.
I found that consistently.
I feel let down.
I feel that consistently in the hockey, which I'm sure we'll get to in a second, and the rowing. I felt that a lot because in my eyes, growing up in this great nation, we've always been good at that. And then I tune in every 4 years for, you're looking at your 35 to 45 seconds. And when I see us not competing for a bronze, and we're consistently coming, like sort of 17 seconds behind, the leaders in the rowing. For instance,
rowing. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not watching this.
It's very
anymore.
difficult when you are raised on the awesome foursome.
Yeah,
and that's essentially imprinting theory. There's scientific theory to back that up. You fall in love with the thing you first see.
Yeah.
And the thing you first see is awesome foursome. A, winning gold in Barcelona, and B, fronting a Golden Valley Gold ad.
Yeah.
It's very hard to see rowers after that fail to match that standard.
I haven't eaten a peach since 2004.
Fucking oath. It's a very bad result for peaches.
For peaches.
The artist. I was backstage for that once. So let's move on to the Hockeyroos then.
Can we say the drink one more?
Mate, sorry, I don't need a second invitation to stay in the drink, mate. Don't worry about that.
Let's stay in the drink.
Yeah. Diving.
We've got a couple of girls in the drink.
Okay. Yeah, please. Sorry. And I'm sorry to everybody else. It's like, no, there's more drink, chat.
More drink. Birds in the drink. Melissa Wu and Ellie Cole.
Yeah.
Are both
feeling better now.
Into the final of the 10-metre platform. So Melissa Wu, as we know, in her 5th Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Ellie Cole in her 1st.
Yeah.
She's in year 12 at PLC Croydon, there in Sydney. So Wu qualified 12th for the final. Ellie Cole qualified 6th.
6. Okay. So that's medal.
Also, I read this. Melissa Wu, so she's been through like so many injuries and stuff the last few years. She's won bronze a couple of times, I think it was. She won bronze in Beijing in her first Olympics. No, that was her second Olympics. And then I think bronze maybe in, she might have won last time in Tokyo. Anyway, she did her back when she was filming SAS. That SAS show for Channel 7 just after Tokyo.
Jimmy Jack.
Kicked off all sorts of problems for her, bulging discs, knee problems, but she's come back once again. She's a great comeback champion.
Oh, interesting. So it's an injury comeback veteran chance of
And there's a bit of
gold.
ink on there's a bit of ink on Wu as well. You don't see it often in the diving, but there's ink. So it just shows a level.
That's interesting. I wonder if that might get in the way of the sense of symmetry from the judges as well. If you ink one side, do you ink the other? You know what I mean? In a mirror image situation to create an optical, not so much an illusion, but just something pleasing optically.
And the great thing about Ellie Cole doing year 12 at school here in back
here in Sydney,
here in Sydney where we are.
And I am too.
Hey, that's the Eiffel Tower behind us.
We used to go there on camp.
We get great images of her school like supporting her, in school uniform, sort of clapping along to TVs and that sort of stuff. And she's been amazing. Obviously, debut game, 17 years old, qualified 6th for the final. So
it's not bad when you go to those parties where kids kids are underage drinking and stuff. It's like I'm an Olympian. think about the capital.
Oh, you're saying if you were at a party and
just like take yourself back to those parties.
Yes,
frighteningly not looked after by parents, but nevertheless, the kid who's the Olympian or was involved in some kind of like AIS style situation always carried a lot of social capital.
That's true. That's true. Because they were often like, let out from training.
And they're away. But then you'd see them every couple of weeks. Like, what's the latest feat? And then they'd come up in assembly and the school would coo like pigeons over that student.
Yeah. It was also a great thing if you ever got taken out of school for a sports carnival.
Yes.
Like out of a year 5 maths lesson, for instance. And
that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm an athlete.
Yeah,
I'm 11.
That's right. Yeah. If you're in first cricket, you have to leave at 2:30 now.
Yeah.
Like maths teachers, like, what the fuck's going on here? I'll see you later, guys. Just elite. I'm in the elite program. Just a shout out as well to Tubby on comms. A lot of people writing in about this. A couple of divers missing their dives, and Tubby saying, "Well, you're not going to middle every ball." So. And that's a reference.
I saw Tubby clapping back at some of the criticisms.
Great.
So I think it might have been actually. Oh, see, no, I need to get that right. I'm not going to say his name because it might be a different person altogether. But it was, it's. I think it was a name of someone that's well known. Was saying like, it's disappointing for the divers themselves having Mark Taylor commentate on their games, And
Matthew Mitchum was heavily critical of Mark Taylor's appointment as a commentator.
Okay.
He's spoken publicly about that.
Okay.
The gold medalist, Matthew Mitchum.
Right, okay. And Mark Taylor on 2GB, he clapped back and said, well, it's absolutely ridiculous. I met many of the divers and they were stoked that I was doing the commentary. I'm just a commentator. I'm not doing special comms. The special comms is Sam, forget his last name, which is, am I right?
Sam.
And he was saying like, it's absolute garbage. It's absolute garbage that I'm being criticised for it. I'm just doing a job. I'm just there. I'm just commentating the sport. I'm not doing special comms. I'm just reading out the scores. What's the problem?
Well, and that's discourse, isn't it? That's people are entitled to views.
What Matthew Mitchum and the like need to understand was that he was a very steady opening batsman, and Shane Warne liked him.
Oh, and a shrewd tactician.
Yeah.
Who stewarded Shane Warne's early years in the Australian Test team as well. I mean, Alan Border was there right at the start, but really is where Warne flourished under Mark Taylor's stewardship.
Yeah, and he declared refusing to surpass Bradman. So, I don't really know what Mitchum wants.
Well, or anyone who criticises Tub.
Yeah. So, does Matthew Mitchum want a diver with knowledge of the sport itself to commentate on numbers? He's just reading out scores.
Look, with
fucking
respect,
settle down.
With respect to Matthew Mitchum, who
he was a wonderful diver,
a golden boy, really,
of diving,
of Australian athleticism and Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah, some may say he's got the credibility to make a comment like that. As someone who reached the top of his own sport.
Yeah.
But others might just say, "This is Tub."
Yeah.
And this is the guy who didn't surpass Bradman.
So
out of a sense of dignity and respect and knowledge of the history of Australia.
I don't think you understand, Matthew. It's Tubby Taylor.
Yeah.
He put extra Chewy on the fucking map.
And what about that catch against the Windies where it's bobbled out off Bevo and he kicks it back up? 95-96. Hey? Game, set, match.
That's the tennis. Actually.
Oh, yeah, that's tennis.
That's something else.
That's really enjoyable.
2 words, Matthew. Tubby Taylor.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand. I don't think you get it, mate.
Your reasoned, logical critique about the way the stories are told of your compatriots and peers. Have you thought about this? Tubby Taylor.
2 words, Matthew. Peppermint extra.
Come back to me when you think about that. All right, let's get out of the drink. All right, Let's get out of the drink. Let's get on to land, and it's an L. It's an L for the Hockeyroos.
Oh yeah, but we were fucking robbed.
So this is a day after the Cockleboroughs are eliminated in the quarters.
The Cockleboroughs. They're down at Cockle Bay there.
Well,
next to
we've all been
Barangaroo.
there.
We have been, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Hockeyroos fell at the same stage, 3-2 lost to China. Look, I take your point here, goes, and that we'll get into the controversy shortly, which I looked at carefully, and I do have a strident view about it. But I take your point. For some reason, we both expect at least silver, probably gold in hockey. And it's something to do with, like, probably a bat and ball sport.
Well, no. What's happened is when they won gold in Sydney
24 years ago, yeah,
that was their third gold in 4 games,
and it's arrested development for us.
So since then, they've been knocked out in the quarterfinals 6 times in a row. Six in a row.
I was just gonna say, like, we're like, you know, these guys have bombed out. It's like, well, actually, this has happened 6 times in a row. So at what point does it cease being a bombing out and just become the expected result?
Well, there has been talk about cultural issues in hockey, in the Hockeyroos.
That's I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's a scurrilous thing after being knocked out by China. But that's not what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No.
There was, according to Stan Sports, a recap, some disquiet. Now, that's a euphemism over the manner of their exit. Hockeyroos captain Jane Claxton talked afterwards of 2, quote, strange and worrying decisions in the shock 3-2 defeat to China. So one was China's third goal, where, you know, I mean, for example, you had darling of Australian hockey, Georgie Parker, blowing up on Twitter. Can't believe the rules have changed.
Yes.
Just to paraphrase there. And apparently Australia should have got a penalty corner at the end.
They should have done, yeah. So I watched this game.
Oh, yeah, and that was your...
that was the thing that I watched last night.
Yep.
And the third goal, genuinely, in any sport ever, was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. So it's a short corner to China. The score's 2-1 to Australia. 2-1 to China. And there's a shot at goal. Australian keeper saves it. It is
play on from here.
It's play on from here, and then it's sort of deflected out back towards China.
Yeah.
Sorry, and then as it's deflected from the goalkeeper towards another Chinese player, who then gets the backhand stick and fires it into the top net, top bins. Yeah, good finish. It is deflected off a Chinese player who's on the ground, sort of on all fours, and it brushes her leg.
Yeah.
And so as soon as it happens, the Australian players go straight to the referee and go fucking boom, send that bad boy upstairs.
It's off the pin.
Now you can see in the replay, the ball changes angle, and you can see from various angles. You can see the muscle on the thigh of the Chinese player wobble,
ripple.
Ripples. Yeah, the ball changes direction, and you can see it through multiple angles. And then the wording of the third umpire says, "We see no clear reason to change your decision." It's genuinely one of the worst calls I've ever... I would say the ball changes degrees by about something in the realm of 45.
Wow. Because you imagine, I mean, if you get the protractor out and you're looking at 90 degrees, that really is a deviation.
Yeah.
And you're saying it's halfway to that.
I would say it's between 30 and 45.
Okay, 30, okay.
I have walked it back a bit.
That's all right.
But no, genuinely, it's unbelievable how much the ball changes now. I don't see...
Well, I can only...
Probably just spun.
I can only echo Jane Claxton's comments then. That is strange and worrying.
And then
I'm worried.
And then at the end, there was a minute and 90 seconds left, something like that. A ball elevated into the air, into the Chinese penalty half circle thingy, whatever that is. And then the Chinese player gets in the way of the Australian player basically, and then the on-field umpire gives a short corner to Australia. Obviously, short corner, great opportunity for players to score. In fact, in the game itself, there were 3 goals of the 4 goals were scored from short corners. And then that decision is overturned because there was no clear receiver of the ball, despite the Australian player literally receiving the ball. It was now the Chinese players played really well. Australia got out to a 1-0 start.
Say what you got to say.
They play.
Say what you got to say.
And then the game was changed. They started to press a bit more. There's a bit more energy for the China. So China played well.
And they fought courageously, China.
They were courageous.
And they defended courageously, and they ran out from those short corners at real pace and courage. Now, it sounds to me like there are allegations of foul play, of something, a foul.
I'm not sure about that because I'm not. I don't.
Well, no, we can't be sure, can we?
I don't know. Well, I don't know about allegations of corruption in the sport, But I encourage people to have a look at the third goal for China, and like I didn't know the rule was like
I didn't say corruption.
You can't play the ball off the body inside the penalty.
Well, and that's why people should be careful before suggesting that Jane Claxton is referring to such things when she says strange and worrying decisions. She might just be worried for the the mental health of the umpires themselves. I'm just worried. And worried about that.
She actually announced her retirement as well, so she's out. So she can do whatever she wants. Yeah.
China's coached by a legendary Australian, Alison Annan, as well as a Jamie Dwyer on stand saying doesn't like that she's coaching there. With respect, he said that she spent a lot of time in Holland and now has been 18 months with China, and The thing that sucks about losses like these is when the opposition team have then ascended to a level they've never gone before. So they're lowly and they're like, we've never gone this high, and they've dethroned you.
Yes,
or used to going that high, at least up until the year 2000.
Yeah, which is when the Olympics stopped. Until this year.
Our mental development stopped. Anything else from Australia here, guys?
Nah.
China was okay. Let's go to the globe. Look, pole vault. Let's go back to the track.
Should we just thank Smith Optics real
quickly?
Please.
So they were very happy, I have to say. I got some feedback from Smith Optics that they were very happy with the suggestion from us that they start exploring a stalker range. Yesterday.
They were pleased with that. Because we said don't do that because you'll stand out. You'll stand out like a red herring. Anyway, Smith Optics Australia have got behind TGC and indeed Morning After Paris here at MAP, and you can use the code FAST for 25% off your order at smithopticsaustralia.com. If you're a fan of the show, you've been here before, then you already know what I'm going to say, but we've been talking about the road and the mountain lids, the trace MIPS for the road, the payroll MIPS for the mountain bike range. But, sunglasses are abound, Pezza. It's been sunny in Melbourne for the past 2 days, so that means summer's here, which means that you'll need to get your lids sorted out and your eyewear sorted out. And you know what? I've seen shockingly, actually, rival brands during these Olympics, and let me tell you, they look fucking dog shit compared to these. These look and feel amazing. And I'll tell you what, world records weren't really had in the pool.
Record.
They weren't really had in the pool, but if they wore these in the pool, I will let you tell you, Olympic records, Australian records for the Chinese, world records as well. That's what would have happened if they wore these in the drink. Now, you can wear these in any sort of situation. If you want to wear them in the pool, if you want to wear them on the track, if you want to wear them in the velodrome.
Wear them lawn mowing. Seriously, they're very practical. They take the entire eye line.
Yes.
You get your little ear muffs over to look after the old... the Michael Beers and
the old listeners there,
and get to work on lawn mowing. Doesn't matter whatever you're going to feel athletic and you're going to look good as well when you wear these Smith Optics.
And if you don't want people to know what you're doing with your eyes,
once again back to the stalker.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, I know you're
necessarily.
Not saying that. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want to sort of keep a bit of mystery about you,
that's right. So
an air of
Homer
mystique.
Simpson should have done in when he was doing jury duty. Instead of those fake eyeglasses.
If it were me, don't wear these to jury duty.
Yeah.
But if you want to...
Oh, if you don't want to be selected.
Veto.
Yeah. No, not him.
I'm just saying, there are options
help
here.
of a jury duty. How's that, Dave?
If you want
He's a help of a getting out of jury duty. Yeah, don't wear these anywhere where people would like to see what your eyes are doing.
Yeah, but if you want to keep an air of mystique about you, and you've got an air of menace about you as well,
an air of menace, of course.
Then Smith Optics Australia.
Andrew Menzel.
No, we're not talking about Andrew Menzel this time. We're not talking about menace this time. SmithOpticsAustralia.com. Use the code FAST for 25% off your order. You know what? Go to their website. Their range of sunglasses,
great range,
and of course with lids as well for the old helmets there. Is plentiful.
Unrivaled.
Plentiful, bountiful. It's everything you've ever needed. Thank you to Smith Optics for getting behind Morning After Paris. Pezza, international news.
We got a world record in the pole vault here, guys. Mondo Duplantis, Armand Duplantis, but we call him Mondo from Sweden.
Can't he jump this bloke?
Mate, he's absolutely destroyed his opposition and then just had a crack at the world record, 6.25 metres. I think Dave Cuthbert maybe on comms, boys, actually, just calling out, fly, fly, fly!
He's actually
almost kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West in Wizard of Oz when those monkeys with wings get going. Fly, my pretties! That was actually the song in his head.
Yeah. So he previously held the world record himself with 6:24, once a minute more.
Let's bump it up one.
Yeah. Got the job done, straight over to the old miso soup in the stand, then started yelling at his brother and started slapping each other. That was kind of intense. So he won the gold at 6 meters. So he won gold at 6 meters.
Because I saw some opponents behind him as he was charging in for the gold, like willing him on.
Yep.
And they're the actions of the vanquished. You know, it's like, well, I'm out anyway, so let's just see how high this guy can go.
Yeah.
That's how good you are. Where people are like, I just want to see the feats of human possibility.
Exactly right. Humans taking flight for the first time with a pole.
Yep. Like the evil monkeys in Wizard of Oz.
Exactly right. So then he lifted the bar to 6:10. He got that done, and that got him the Olympic record.
Right.
So then he went again 6:25. Also, so the 100 meters, the sprinters from the 100 meters last night, they were getting their medals, and so he let them get their medals, and then he jumped at 6:25, missed, and then went again, and then got it that third time. Also, he's raised in Lafayette, Louisiana, so he has some American patronage there.
Oh, nice one. Rolling on the river. Women's 5,000. I don't know if you caught this. Here goes Faith Kipyegon, the legend of the code from Kenya. She crossed the line.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah, and then cheated.
Well, a judge to have in the women's 5,000. Sensationally disqualified mid-race encounter with Ethiopia's Gudaf Segay.
Yes.
Did
you see it? You see the?
I did, and it was
handbag stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you know what I mean when I say that.
Mate, it was handbags at 2 paces. If you want the best athletics analysis, please tune in morning after Paris. I watched this. It was about the halfway mark. That's handbags.
That's right.
No, what I liked about it when they did the slow-mo, because it all happens at pace, because that's the nature of the,
it's a race.
The beast. Is that Kipyegon sort of, I believe she first sort of links up. She's coming in behind Segay there, and she links arms underneath. So and then it's like football when they're going for a 50-50. There's a couple of feet and some studs involved, and like both of them start complaining like they've just been mishandled by the other. What's going on? Hey, get off! Hey, get off me!
I've been aggrieved.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You know, like I'm wrestling with my son or something like that, and they'll I'll just put him all over me and stuff. I'm like, hey, get off me! Hey. Or like rugby league when you hold, like you've got the ball and you hold the man on you.
Yes.
To look like you're being held down.
And you flap around like a dead fish.
Mate, exactly. And I thought there was, that Kipyegon was showing. Some veteran wile there, but it wasn't wily enough. And anyway, can you win anyway? So, Chibet, play on. Women's 800, just for Team GB, here goes Keely Hodgkinson. She's only 22. She storms to 800 gold. GB's first athletics triumph in Paris. One better from what she did in Tokyo as well. Good run, just fucking smashed everybody.
Right.
Did it by a long way. I think it means something to Team GB. I don't have BBC, so whatever. I guess. Anything else to the track for you there?
No.
Nah, Biles misses. Here goes. Rebecca Andrade edged her in the event by 0.033 points to win the women's floor exercise. Is that a glitch in the matrix, Biles? Not getting the right colour.
Yeah.
They both finished 4th and 5th, respectively, just to ensure that's there. In the women's beam, I think Biles fell off there. So
she did fall off,
didn't go well. But Biles, no gold for Biles, just an absolute... like a treasure chest of medals, but not all of them gold.
Yep. But it did give rise to this great photo of the podium, Pezza. It was Charles and Biles either side, and then the Brazilian Rebecca, I've already forgotten the last name. First time in the gymnastics, 3 black women on the podium.
Well, that's cool.
That's a great photo. And then Biles gave some nice comments as well about her Brazilian rival, saying like, I'm sick of her being so close. So they got a nice sort of rivalry going on there, but
respect away from competition.
That's right.
So probably a fierce rivalry.
You'd have to
but actually quite a lot of respect off.
Yeah. And Fox News reported that Simone Biles is pregnant and retiring, and neither of those things are true. So, chalk up one for the good guys there.
Why would they do that? How do you get that wrong?
There was like a rumor going around on Twitter.
Oh, well, I guess
and they've
publish that
reported
then.
on it. Yeah.
Wait, she's up the duff and she's
Well, that tumbling can't be good for the baby.
Yeah. God, that's depressing. Spain and France are going to meet in the men's football final. Here goes. A couple of good nations there. Spain got over Morocco 2-1. France injury time winner against Egypt in the men's football. I was going to say just on that, I mean, it's like what we were talking about earlier. Matildas, no medal. What's going on? Anyway.
Yes. Bloke who put Egypt in front plays for Pyramids FC in Egypt.
No,
I'm not making that up.
That actually sounds like a heavily racist comment that an Australian might make at a bar, mate. This bloke from Pyramids FC.
No, that's the name of the actual team.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, mate, who are we playing against this week? Like Pyramids. But that's actually a team. That's cool.
An actual team,
That's really cool.
Yeah, anyway,
All right.
they lost.
Cool. All right, boys, actually, he goes, first one is Kratzy. Kratzy writes in his email address. You can email him. kratzystarkbackwards@gmail.com. He titles it, Huey Doesn't Know Dressage. Boys, ex-miso soup did a bit of dressage. Apparently it's all down to rider-stallion relationship and using subtle kicks and pulls on the stirrups and reins. So move the horse around. To be honest, I still think the horsey does most of the heavy lifting, though. Obviously he's trying to talk to his ex-miso.
Yeah, that's exactly
Kieran Marsh says, boys, actually, with regards to that bloke swimming in the dam I talked about in the Woolies ad, to whom you referred, I can confirm it was not Ian Thorpe, good on you little pairs, but rather soon to be 2-time Paralympian Cole Pearce. The ad originated from the story of Cole's family and broader community transforming the dam on their dairy farm in Bamawam Extension, sorry I got that wrong, or if there's a typo there, outside of Chuka, into a mock training facility throughout the Melbourne lockdowns in the lead up to Tokyo Paralympics. That's pretty cool. So that's the only way Cole was able to continue to train ahead of Tokyo, often requiring full bodysuit owing to the temperatures in the dam water dropping into single figures. Cole will go on to win bronze medal in the men's 100 S10 butterfly and will be chasing an even better result in Paris in both this event and the S10 200 IM, in which he's currently ranked fastest in the world. An outstanding story and one to keep a close eye on during the Paralympics. Can I say two more things before we wrap up? You might have had this already, but we were going to have Matthew Thompson on this show. He needed to sleep in because he'd done the whole swimming program. Totally respect that. We're talking to him tonight. That'll be on the show tomorrow, just to recap the drink, which is I feel like we're going to need to do. Maybe get him on every other day.
Yeah.
Secondly, I don't know if you had this, but obviously this is a cricket show, and it's sad news overnight around the passing of Graham Thorpe. Graham Thorpe, England legend, 100 tests for England, played at your club in the UK, and he played at my club in Australia as well, and very well respected and well regarded. Huge love to his family, condolences to everybody who loved Graham Thorpe, and there were a lot of people. So a sad note on which for me to conclude, but that it needs to be said.
Well said, mate. I'm going to finish the show with this shot that was taken of Thomas Chechen, Olympic gold medalist in the men's 100 metres backstroke. We've obviously been some chat about how bad the conditions are in the village to sleep. Chechen's been very vocal about how rubbish they are, can't sleep because of the noise and trying to sleep in the afternoon and just the conditions generally speaking. This snap was taken by Saudi rower Hussein Ali Reza. So it's a Saudi rower just taking a photo of an Italian swimmer having a kip in a park because the athletes don't like sleeping in the village. And that pretty much sums up this day and this show in many ways. I'm not sure how, but it has.
Well, very village, and a lot of people falling asleep.
And a lot of inaccuracies. That's the morning after Paris for day, what are we up to, 10, 11?
10, that was day 10.
That was day 10. Wow, there you go. All right, plenty more to come here. See you guys for morning after Paris tomorrow. Cheers.